Oh, hello. I'm Mark Levitt. Welcome to Story Time. Here's a kid's story of my own creation. It's called Buford, Wiggs, and the Peppermill. So sit back and take a listen. Now, Buford Wiggs sneezed all the time because he owned the town Peppermill. Even before how do you do, Mr. Wiggs would let out a thunderous sneeze, and townspeople would have to duck for cover. When Wiggs felt a sneeze coming, why, his head would fall back, his eyes would blink. Then the wind and wet would come from his mouth, and he would honk like a duck. Wiggs' Peppermill was a giant circular building that stretched up to the clouds. Inside the building, huge steel grinders and shakers rose up to the roof. All day, workmen would heave sacks of pepper leaf into the machines, and they would come out all fine, gray, black pepper grounds. The sounds of the mill were enough to drive a man crazy. The only ones who could take the sounds and smells for long were Wiggs and an old hoot owl that lived up in the rafters. The workmen called the owl Peepers on account of the fact he always had his big eyes on something. One day, a rich pepper baron named Kreisel from a neighboring county came to visit. The man had a thick, bushy mustache, wore a white-brimmed hat. Upon meeting Wiggs, the baron stuck out his hand to shake. "Achoo!" said Wiggs. "Oh, I see you're sneezing from all that pepper. I stopped the urge long ago when I grew this here mustache. Best thing I ever did. Protects the old nose from all those nasty black little devils. You own this whole mill?" said Wiggs. "I surely do. Every last inch of that mill I own." Said Kreisel, eyeing the grinders and mixers. "Nice, very nice, but hardly the thing for a good strong man like you. You ought to be in the salt business or even parsley. You ever think of that, parsley?" "Well, I can't say that I ever give parsley much thought." "Oh, Wiggs, you got to think about it. There's so much parsley out there in the world just waiting to be found and put on hamburgers and the like. Yep, parsley's the future. Can't you just see it? All those little parsley plants out there calling your name. Hear them?" said Wiggs. "You see, this pepper business is killing you." "Nah, it's not so bad, not so bad." "Well, sir, how about if I make you an offer to buy up your pepper mill?" "No," said Wiggs gruffly. "Not interested. My grandfather was in pepper, my father was in pepper, and I shall be in pepper too, till the day I die." You gotta see the big picture, Wiggs. What's salt, pepper, and parsley got in common? You sprinkle them on foods, such. Without them, all the things we'd eat would taste like dried shoe leather. Said Wiggs thoughtfully. "Never had much opportunity to taste my own shoes now." "Look, man, I'm offering you quite an opportunity here, Wiggs. Quite an opportunity." That night, Wiggs sat down to dinner with his family. Jo, his wife, was a thin, reed-like woman with hair like black string. She sat across from her husband with a smile and said, "Look, Buford, look, I've knitted you a new handkerchief. Augie? Augie?" Now Augie, Wiggs' son, sat with a small round face in his hands and made plopping noises with his lips. Achoo! Went Wiggs. Thanks for the hanky-doe. Just in time, too. I feel like I must have breathed in that whole Peppermill this afternoon. That is, Nosy, is gloopy and full of goo, said Augie. Funny thing happened today, sighed Wiggs. He leaned back in his chair, relaxed. Now, this Peppermill baron came by and offered to buy up the whole mill. You said anybody who's anybody is in porcelain nowadays. Oh, you never sell. You love pepper, said Doe. Sure I do, but a man can't do one thing his whole life. A man's not a mule pulling a plow. He's got to try new things once in a while. Besides, look at this here nose. It's as red as our chimney. But what do you know about parsley? What's parsley? Asked little Augie while flattening some peas with his fork. Why, parsley is a green leafy thing that people put on steaks and such. It's the wave of the future, the Baron said. The wave of the future. This is the end of part 1 of Buford, Wiggs, and the Peppermill.